Hi! Welcome back. Today, let's have a little chat about some of the things I no longer do because I love and respect myself too much for that BS. If any of this resonates with you, you know you are in a good place and on the right path. Okay? So I got the idea to make this video because yesterday I saw a YouTube of a man explaining how if you want to pull chicks, like get a lot of them over to your crib, you gotta have a nice fully stocked fridge and pantry full of snacks. And then he went on to show like a tour of his fridge that was filled with all types of drinks and a pantry full of all types of snacks for every type of gal. And I was so impressed. I thought, okay, I am someone who deserves that kind of fridge and pantry. So I decided to go like stock up on some cute little drinks like this. And I actually went to this grocery store that I rarely visit because it's not as nice as the one as I usually go to, but they have a better selection of drinks. It's much larger. So I went to this grocery store, and because I'm a nosy human being, I like to wander around the aisles and see what's there. It's sort of like a museum, except it's a grocery store supermarket. Does anyone else love like visiting supermarkets in different cities and countries? Anyways, I walk past the snack aisle and the candy aisle, and I see all of these rows of snacks, chips, candies, chocolate bars. And let me tell you, the personal growth I felt in that moment, so fucking proud of myself, because none of those items on the shelves felt appealing or appetizing to me. And this is coming from someone who used to be dependent on snacks, sweets, desserts, who would replace meals, like who would eat ice cream and cakes instead of real meals, and who would eat chips and crackers or like chocolate covered biscuits for dinner, because I was so scared of gaining weight that I would weigh myself every day, and I would avoid drinking water because I was scared for my weight to go up on the scale, which paradoxically made it go up. But in that moment, as I was walking down the aisles and looking at all this crap, this thought came to my head that you can literally not pay me to eat that shit. And that in that moment, I just realized your behaviors in your day-to-day life, the content you see pop up on your social media, like IG Explore page, your TikTok feed, the state of your home and your bedroom, the media you consume, your Spotify playlist. I'm telling you, if you want an accurate reflection of how you feel and where you are in life, take a look at your Spotify playlist. And I was like decluttering my home for the longest time this year when I had my spiritual awakening. I like noticed all of these energetic patterns in my life that I just had to like get rid of. And I noticed going back through my Spotify Wrapped playlist in the years where I was really going through it, my God, those songs, I need an exorcism from them. So I literally like unsaved all of them. But also the thing is, on the subject of things I no longer do, I lost all of my appetite for these desserts, candies, sweets, and junk foods once I got to the root of what was really causing that behavior. Because human beings, we act in the most illogical ways. We're not inherently like very logical creatures, though we like to hang on to that belief to make us feel safe. So how is this coming out in my life? I was replacing all of these meals with sweets and sugar, desserts, junk foods, because part of me had a lot of pain from moments when I was a little girl and no one took care of me. And what do you do to comfort a very sad child? You give them a piece of candy, you give them a scoop of ice cream, you give them a little piece of cake, and they can stop crying. They'll be happy for momentarily. But is that a long-term solution to anything? Fuck no. And I was behaving from that same pattern. I'm sure you have like places in your life where these traumas are showing up in the ways you behave through the beliefs you've been like, that have been like injected into you from those traumatic moments. And once I got to the root of that problem, my sugar dependency, it clicked, it like healed overnight. It's not even appetizing to me anymore. No part of me looking at like a huge ice cream felt like it would make my life any better. Also, no part of me, like when someone doesn't communicate properly with me, no part of me feels like I did anything wrong. Like, I literally tell myself, if someone isn't like treats me in a kind of suspicious way, I don't take that as a reflection of my faults. I literally tell myself, okay, they're going through something or they're mentally ill. No shade to mentally ill people. Been there, done that. I'm just saying, like, I literally say like their brain has problems and they can't handle me or whatever. That's fine. That is fine. Someone else will. So number one of what I no longer do because I respect and love myself too much, eat crap, eat shit. No. Because subconsciously, what are you training yourself to tolerate when you feed yourself with crap? Have you seen the meme online of a low vibrational plate? Because like I went through this natural history museum exhibit recently. I saw like this mummy called the Cheddar Man that was found in a peat bog in England. It's the oldest preserved human body found in the United Kingdom. He's like maybe 100,000 years old. And I was thinking, damn, if I were a mummy someday in a museum and somebody found Twix bars in my stomach, I'd be fucking in a rage. I would be so pissed. Put some shrimp and like caviar with some brown bread and fine French butter, maybe some cherries, maybe some, I don't know, homemade chocolate mousse. If you catch me as a mummy 1,000 years, like 100,000 years from now in some museum, and the contents of my stomach are like Cheetos, fuck no. I would make a time machine just to undo that. So like the same logic goes when you're wearing an outfit. When your mental health is not that great, or when you're not in a great place in life, you can see it in a stranger on the street from the way they dress. It's literally like a bad smell. When you have a bad vibe, it comes off like we're all energetic beings. It's literally like a bad smell that people will pick up on, no matter whether they're spiritual or not, okay? That's another thing. So first things first, watch what you're eating. Watch what you're consuming literally and metaphorically, because that is a reflection of where you are. And if you see some flaws with that, get to the root of it, okay? And it can heal overnight if you know how to go about it correctly. Second point, if you have clothes or old items lying around your house, from an energetic level, they are stealing your energy. Okay, so when I had my spiritual awakening this year, I began to notice in reality how energy flows in patterns and how it benefits or harms us. And one of the main things with crap lying around your house is, if you have like a perfume you used to wear when you were in a bad relationship, trauma perfume, or if you have old clothes that you no longer wear but you feel like you can't be bothered to throw it out, or you think you spent so much money on it so you don't want to get rid of it, or you just don't ever like think about it, so it's just lying there. This is your sign to go sort that out immediately. I don't care if you sell it on Vinted or Depop or whatever, donate it to a charity shop, or you just literally recycle or trash it. Get rid of it, because subconsciously those items are taking up space in your life and not benefiting you. And subconsciously, their existence in your home is teaching you that it is okay to keep around things, people, or whatever situations in your life that aren't benefiting you but still taking up space, aka your energy, your attention, your valuable space. That's the second thing. And also, if you're not feeling like you want to get dressed, or you're just like dressed really sloppily, or you notice other people like that, know that they're not in such a great place. So just think you are worth the effort. And if you're like, another thing, if you're on a diet, you're on a regime, you're doing a body transformation, don't wait till your goal weight to buy that accessories, shoes, or clothes that you really want. that's just general advice for me. Remember, like in all of the videos I make, I'm telling you, use the advice that works for you. But I'm saying here that don't wait for the moment where you feel happy and confident to go wear the clothes you want. Wear it today because you fucking deserve that. It's not like you're not going to suddenly become happy one day overnight because you achieve something. That is a temporary sort of happiness. Your sustainable, long-lasting happiness comes from inside, and that comes along with the fact of knowing you deserve to wear beautiful clothes, comfortable clothes, and to live in a nice, clean place, and to only keep around things that benefit you. Because honestly, another thing is, third point, having a beautiful home. If you want to see, your room is a reflection of your mind. You've heard that many times, right? I presume. So I used to do this thing where I would only clean up or organize very well if I was hosting someone for dinner or hosting someone as a guest, like on vacation. And then I sat down and realized, I asked myself, why the fuck am I only doing this for another person? Why do I not do this for myself? Why do I value another person's happiness in my home more than that of myself? Because your home is a place where you should feel rested, replenished, safe, comfortable, and joyful. And if you have a really close relationship with your body, where you meditate or you take good care of yourself and you're healthy and well, and you're in harmony and balance, you'll notice that certain spaces, whether it's a neighborhood or a park or a natural reserve or like a boutique, certain spaces, you can feel them give you more energy. For example, an art museum. And certain places like literally suck the life force out of you. Like if you go to a scary neighborhood, or if you you walk past a dumpster or like a pile of shit on the floor of a sidewalk, these ugly things, these unsafe and ugly things versus these beautiful environments, they literally suck out your energy or give you more energy. So you fundamentally deserve a safe, happy, beautiful place where you can replenish and recharge as your home. Period. Full stop. So it just made me realize, like this, like, why am I respecting other people that I'm hosting as guests more than myself? And then I got my head back on straight, and now I keep a beautiful home where if someone were to show up at my door and come inside to sit on the couch, have dinner or lunch with me, or like literally sleep in my bed, they would be like, fuck yeah, I feel like the dad from Beauty and the Beast when I go into this random castle and everything's perfectly laid out for me. That is my expectation for myself. And everyone else gets to enjoy that if I invite them over as a side effect. I do not only do good things when other people are watching. Like, honestly, how you behave and what you do when you think no one's watching determines so much of your life. Because if you're wearing dirty underwear as your pajamas and some old t-shirt, do you think, versus like beautiful pristine silk robes to sleep in, do you think that a stranger on the street who passes you walking by, do you think they can't feel the difference on a subconscious level? They can, even if they're not aware of it. And the same goes for you. So that's the third thing, keeping a beautiful, it doesn't even have to be fancy or luxurious, just keep it a place that feels safe and replenishing to you as an individual with your personal taste, okay? Your home should do that at the very least for you. Next thing, when it comes to relationships, something I've stopped doing is I do not perform, and I do not do things for people to like me. I do things because I like doing them for people or being around them. So this goes in the form of many ways. For example, if you're on social media, I do not randomly follow back people who follow me. That I only follow accounts I like. Come on, that's like a bare minimum, right? I do not check who saw my stories. I literally tell myself mentally, every time you check your stories to see who viewed them and you hope someone like viewed them or whatever, you're literally losing aura. because no one should have that sort of control over you. And this is like, to be brutally honest, if I ever like start caring too much about someone liking or viewing my stories, I'll literally hide my stories on Instagram from them, because no one deserves that sort of mental control over me. And I am willing to put systems in place for me to succeed, even if it seems crazy to other people. I do not care. I am in my I don't give a fuck. If it works for me, I'm gonna do it era. And I wish that for you as well. Other things. If one of my friends, or if someone I would consider dating does not communicate properly with me, I do not internalize it as a reflection of me being faulty or flawed. I literally tell myself they're busy going through something right now, and they want to take the time to reply to me properly, A, or B, they are mentally ill or do not have the space to entertain me in their lives, and that is their issue. No shade to mentally ill people. I'm just saying, if you tell yourself the right stories, there is no chance you can't win in life. Yay! My favorite reading tree. So cute. Next, things I no longer do. I don't wait on things. And I don't push myself to work too hard in a sense where it's not benefiting me. Because a lot of the advice in this world, like my main thing that I do now is I trust my inner instincts, because your body and soul know the answer to everything. It's just that we've been trained to take other people's life advice and to look at how other people behave to model our own behavior so much that we've lost this inner compass. That's why meditation, a lot of really successful people, they meditate. And a lot of maybe less, not so successful people, they might see meditation as a waste of time, when in reality, meditation is a small amount of time that helps you win back so much more in the future. So that in itself is an investment, right? Think of it in a long-term plan. When you're in survival mode, you don't really have the luxury or the mental awareness to take long-term decisions like that and to have higher perspectives, right? Because you're trying to survive. The overall biggest thing I would say is trust your inner compass. I went to visit this big old sailing ship in London recently because I remembered a past life as an Irish sailor, and I really wanted to visit a sailing ship to sort of remember that, to get nostalgic. And I had a sudden realization in the cabin on this old sailing ship that back then they did not have Google Maps. They did not have satellite GPS. They literally had the fucking stars. And that was their one way to navigate a whole ass ocean. I was like, well, you don't have Google Maps? What happens if it's cloudy? What happens if it's raining and you have a storm? And there was no machines on these sailboats, okay? Men literally had to climb up, way up there in the sky and, open these sails and close them by hand. They had to eat, okay, back on topic. The thing is, human beings are so much wiser and than we think nowadays. Now that we've become really attached and dependent on technology, it's we've also, along with that, lost a huge sense of trust and confidence in ourselves. So we look to other people for advice. We look at other people's behaviors to model our own. We look up to other people, which, no, I can admire people, but you will not catch me fangirling over anyone who's alive. Yeah, so trust your inner guidance. If you really want the answer to something, know that if you really think for yourself, from a gut feeling perspective, not from your anxious head, but if you want to differentiate between intuition and anxiety lives in your head and intuition lives in your gut, in your stomach area. So that's one helpful tip that I've used. But the overall thing I would say, the number one thing I no longer do now that I love and respect myself is look towards other people for any sort of validation or life advice. This is not saying that you ignore everyone else, because like observing other people is highly important for your independent success, individual success. I'm saying here that you only take advice and put into practice what is personally useful for you. And you don't care how other people react to that, or try to control you to be like them. Because a lot of people, like when you're transforming in your life and you're improving and up-leveling, upgrading in every sense of the word, people will get uncomfortable around you because you no longer behave in a way that affirms what they perceive to be right in their day-to-day life. And that scares them. So I no longer just take random advice like that and just think it's correct. No, I always filter out what is actually useful for me. What is useful and true for me may not be useful or true for you. And what might be fantastic advice for you might be like actively harmful to me. And what could be fantastic advice for me could actually fuck up your life. And it takes that inner knowing of yourself to really filter that out. So one example is hard work brings success. If you hear that on different levels, also, whenever someone makes a general sweeping statement, the "for me" at the end is silent. Just a reminder. But is this true? I spent so much of my time after graduating from art school just applying to art competitions, and I would invest so much money, time, and life force, effort into making them great. And then the jury would decide, no, we actually don't want this. We want something else that would suit our taste better. And I realized I did my destiny matrix, I did my astrology, I did my numerology, and I realized that on a higher level, I am someone who is meant to attract opportunities and make the most of my good luck. When I work too hard or force things in life, that is when things can really fuck up for me. My main comfort zone number in my destiny matrix is a 10. My gift from God on the top of that matrix is a 10. I've seen this play out in my life where I'm just naturally lucky if I'm having fun and I'm letting myself be free and not being too bothered about the result of something. But the moment I try to get a result and work really hard at that, I'm shot down like a bird with a big rifle. It just doesn't work for me. So does hard work bring success? I've spent hours and hundreds, even thousands of dollars, euros, whatever you want to call it, into doing projects that did not bring me what I thought they would, beyond the lesson they brought me that, hey, you should maybe do more for yourself and attract opportunities rather than chase after them. Yeah, so in that sense, hard work, like I say this with my chest when I say I prefer being lucky than working hard. And I'm able to say this because I'm not ashamed to admit this works for me. Am I telling you to copy what I do? Fuck no. Because for a lot of people, if you just want to rely on luck and not work hard, like if you're building a building, that's not going to work, generally speaking. So only take advice that works for you. And don't look at others to validate what's the right behavior for you. That is the number one thing, the main takeaway from this. The main thing I've stopped doing since I started loving and respecting myself. Yeah. Oh, and as a bonus for all the girls and boys out there who care a lot about your physical appearance, if I had to tell you two things, okay? I no longer weigh myself on a daily basis. That scale is only meant for like, I don't know, maybe a luggage. But even then, I don't travel with a lot of stuff on me because I find that useless and burdensome. So I literally don't use my scales anymore. Maybe I should just throw away those scales or donate them. Okay, but I no longer weigh myself daily like I used to because that was taking away my power. I was putting my value as a human being in a number, and that is so disempowering, so disempowering. I no longer do that. And I know so many women whose lives had just gotten so much better since they stopped weighing themselves. And you know what? What I find funny is oftentimes when you stop weighing yourself, unless if you're in like a really bad food addiction or some other like specific situation, oftentimes you'll find paradoxically your body will naturally go to a healthy, comfortable weight for you once you healed your relationship to food and your own like self. Yeah. Second thing, I do not dress for men. I do not dress for men. I dress for the older ladies in Kensington and Chelsea wearing the big Birkins trousers who like compliment me on the tube in Sloane Square. I dress for the little kids that follow me around because I wear a big fluffy coat and shiny Mary Janes and have like little stars in my hair. But even then, I'm not even really dressing for them. I'm just dressing how I like to dress. You know, I do what I like without hurting other people. There you go. And I trust myself for any questions I have. Yeah. And if I need an answer, I meditate on that. I write down the question or topic on a sheet of paper and I put it beneath my pillow and I have the answer in the morning. Like these are all of the ways my life have. These are all of the things I stopped doing or started doing since I started loving and respecting myself more. Will you ever catch me waiting for a text back? Will you ever find me like being angry over someone who didn't treat me right? I can be pissed, yeah. I'm not gonna like deny my emotions. I don't see like good and bad emotions are essential to you living as a human being. You can't just suppress them. But will I let another people control how I feel? Okay, that's it for today. Let me know how you apply these rules in your life. And I love y'all so much. You can find me on Instagram under La Princesse des Beaux-Arts, where I share a lot of my thoughts, observations, and beautiful images from my travels and adventures. And last thing before I go, I highly recommend you find a tree to read. Whether you put your back against the tree or you like literally sit in this tree like I'm doing right now, the tree will literally heal you. It takes away your negative energy and it infuses you with this pure life force because trees are pure life force without ego, I realized. And in that sense, trees are so much wiser than humans. That's it for today. Bye!